Amazon refusing refund on PS5 and has now disposed of PS5. I want to be clear that I am not someone who causes problems. I return things correctly. I keep receipts. I follow instructions on the label even when the instructions are stupid. I am, by any reasonable measure, the ideal customer, which is why it took me 3 weeks to understand that none of that mattered. It started with a coffee machine. I bought it as a gift for my mother's birthday, a proper one, the kind with the built-in grinder and the milk frother and the price tag that made me wince every time I thought about it. She already had a coffee machine. She told me this after I gave it to her, lovingly, while looking directly at the one already on her counter. I returned it the following week, packaged it exactly as it arrived, dropped it at the courier point, got my receipt, went home. 3 weeks later, I received an email telling me my refund had been rejected. The reason given was that the returned item was missing a component, specifically the milk frother attachment valued at roughly £90. I read that email 4 times. I don't know how to remove a milk frother attachment from a coffee machine. I didn't know until that moment that milk frother attachments were even removable. I had returned the machine in the box it came in, wrapped the way I found it, and handed it to a courier who gave me a receipt that documented the weight of what I'd given him. None of this seemed to be information the company was interested in. I contacted customer service. The first agent sent me a template. The second agent sent me the same template with different punctuation. The third agent told me the investigation team had reviewed my case and their decision was final. I asked what the investigation had involved. She said she couldn't share those details. I asked if they had compared the weight I'd submitted versus what they received. She said she couldn't share those details. Missing me and town ascension. Obviously willing come reaching after class and after time. Looking to battle raise or holising. And why punts to miss a rate in ever from the past decision. Me find my straveler time decider. Working badig and GPT says, which we had to mal one type and sisters that his relatives. My singing every batful at his new chain was attably that all the others in the bangerins are trifle of pole time by the way elevating my one staturing after into twice. I asked to speak to someone senior. She said she would escalate my concern and I would hear back within 5 to 7 business days. I did not hear back within 5 to 7 business days. On day 9, I received an email informing me that my refund had been rejected and additionally, the returned item had now been disposed of. I sat at my kitchen table and read that sentence several times. They had accused me of stealing a component from a machine I'd paid £420 for. They had refused to refund me and then they had thrown the machine away, removing any possibility of independent verification. While I was waiting for a response that never came. I had no money and no machine and no evidence because they had destroyed it. I called my bank and filed a dispute. Then I found the managing director's email address, which took 11 minutes of determined searching, and I wrote the longest email of my adult life. I itemized everything: the receipt with the weight, the timeline of contacts, the template responses, the disposal notice. I used the phrase destruction of disputed goods because it sounded appropriately serious. I explained that what they'd done almost certainly violated consumer law. I was extremely polite throughout in the way that you are polite when you are actually furious. I sent it at 11:43 on a Tuesday night. Wednesday morning, an email. The refund had been reviewed. It had been rejected. Again. Also, the item had been disposed of in case I hadn't received the previous notification. I forwarded this response to the managing director's email with a single line added at the top. Please see below for the response your customer service team sent me this morning regarding the item your company has now confirmed destroying twice. Thursday morning, a different email. This one had an actual name at the bottom. It apologized. It said my experience had not reflected their standards. It said the full refund of £420 had been processed. I stared at it. Then I wrote back. I said the refund was a minimum required outcome and not the same as an adequate resolution. I said the customer service I had received across 3 weeks had been genuinely unacceptable. I said that disposing of a disputed item while a customer complaint was active almost certainly had legal implications they should discuss with someone qualified to advise them. I said I hoped they would review the process that had allowed this to happen because I was unlikely to be the only person it had happened to. Friday morning, another email. Another apology. £100 in account credit applied as a gesture of goodwill. I bought my mother flowers with it. She has a coffee machine. She didn't need anything for it. Here's what I've been thinking about since. That machine sat in a warehouse somewhere while I sent templates back and forth for 23 days. Someone made a decision to dispose of it while my complaint was still active. Someone else sent me an email confirming the disposal like it was routine. An entire system operated on the assumption that I would eventually get tired and go away. I think about all the people who did. I got lucky. I was stubborn and I had time and I knew how to write an email that sounded like it knew things. Most people just lose the £420.